welcome. You're watching a special broadcast. India is all set to celebrate the Pran Pratishtha on 22nd of January. But what does this mean for every Indian? On this broadcast, we are joined by Swami Amritaswarupananda Puri, who's the head disciple of renowned humanitarian and spiritual leader, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. He's also known as the very first disciple to have accepted sannyas from Amma. Swamiji, in fact, has been living in Amritapuri Ashram since its inception in the late 1970s and has been associated with Amma for almost 40 years. Swamiji, thank you very much for joining us on this special broadcast. Let me straight away begin by asking you, Amma may not be present on 22nd of January as India celebrates Pran Pratishtha. You would be representing her. Tell us, what does this essentially mean for every Indian, Swamiji?
Namaskaram. This moment holds great spiritual and historical significance for Bharat and the entire world. Lord Rama, his life and his teachings have a universal appeal, and it is still relevant. Because Ram exemplified Dharma, which is the ultimate law governing the universe. And Dharma is what is needed in today's society. We may not be able to be dharmic 100% or 100%, but we can practice a little bit of dharma, which will make a huge difference in society and the entire world. And we will also align with nature, which is much needed in today's world situation.
Swamiji, as a student of philosophy, do you essentially believe that Lord Ram represents a philosophy that is not only limited to India, but essentially transcends borders and is a global philosophy, which people from any part of the world could perhaps relate to? I ask because on the one side, there is this rightful, vociferous and colorful celebration of Lord Ram, and on the other, there is an attempt to try to confine the significance to a particular religion, rather than the civilizational history that has been attached, so as to say, because as they say, Ram sabka hai. But why is it that there is an attempt to always associate Lord Ram with just one particular religion?
You were asking about philosophy. A philosophy can change, and philosophers may not necessarily practice what they preach. However, the life of Ram, Lord Ram, was not just a philosophy. Ram's life served as an example of how to live meaningfully. It illustrated how to be a perfect role model and how, through adherence to Dharma, one person can inspire people all over the world. Lord Rama's life and the values he revealed through his actions are not limited to the Hindu faith. They are the essence of all religions, because Lord Rama practiced spirituality, and spirituality is the sum and substance of all religions. Rama showed everyone how to lead a life filled with beauty, integrity, compassion, endurance, patience, love, and forgiveness. Even during the worst situations that life can unexpectedly throw at us. In essence, Lord Rama wasn't just limited to a particular section of society, but rather, Lord Rama was a global citizen who upheld universal values throughout his life. So I feel that everyone, regardless of nationality, language, religion, political party, caste, and creed, should celebrate this historic occasion, as this is not a victory of a particular religious faith, but a victory of Dharma itself, which is the cosmic law that governs the whole universe.
Swamiji, in fact, you've written a book, The Irresistible Attraction of Divinity. What we are essentially witnessing today, the whole nation uniting in the divinity of Lord Ram, celebrating Lord Ram. Do you feel the euphoria today is a prime example of the irresistible attraction of divinity. What does this moment mean to you?
Yes, indeed. It is an example of the irresistible attraction of divinity, and moreover, the irresistible power of God's sankalpa, God's will. And to me, this moment means that no matter what happens, God's will is the most powerful force in this universe.
Swamiji, I also want to perhaps put the spotlight on a narrative that has been built towards the Pran Pratishta. I want to understand your views on the narrative that basically calls the inauguration incomplete. Is there a merit in the argument that the Pran Pratishta is essentially being rushed because perhaps one particular political party is looking for some sort of electoral gains? What is it that the scriptures essentially have to say with regards to the Pran Pratishta?
I don't think there is any validity in that argument, because the construction of this sanctum, the Garbhagriha, and basic infrastructure has been completed. This means that the temple is now ready for consecration. In some parts of the country, it is customary to perform the Prana Pratishta consecration ceremony before finishing the entire temple complex. However, customs and traditions may vary from region to region and even within a state. Therefore, there are no strict rules to follow. In our country, for example, it is a tradition to celebrate housewarming ceremonies with religious rituals. And these ceremonies are conducted when a family moves into a newly built house, even if it is not yet fully completed. Usually the family shrine room, kitchen, a few bedrooms and washrooms are ready for use, along with access to electricity and water. Even though the other parts of the house may be unfinished, people still live there and carry out their daily routines, including puja. Temples or kshetras are considered to be the dwelling place of God, house of God. Unlike human houses with multiple rooms, the sanctum in the temple is God's bedroom, living room, dining room, and so on. The sanctum symbolizes the heart where God resides as Kshetrajna, the all-pervading consciousness present in all living and non-living beings. Therefore, once a sanctum is prepared, consecration can be performed and God can reside there.
But Swamiji, do you believe that the inauguration perhaps would be incomplete without the presence of the Shankaracharyas? Because several of the political parties, particularly the opposition parties in India, are arguing the fact that when the Shankaracharyas have objected to the Pran Pratishta, then perhaps there is something amiss.
See, it is their prerogative to decide whether to participate or not. So I won't go into further details on their decision. But not all Shankaracharyas are against it. Nevertheless, there is no scriptural mandate that a Prana Pratishta ceremony or any other ceremony or activity for that matter is incomplete without the presence of the Shankaracharyas. Furthermore, no one else needs to be present when the divine presence of Lord Sri Rama, the embodiment of Dharma, the Maryada Purushottama himself, is there, right there. His divine presence is in Ayodhya. So what else we need?
Swamiji, I just also want to take the opportunity of asking you this, because many would be watching this interview. Do you essentially believe that the ideals of Lord Ram and Ramayana basically transcends religious and ideological differences, and the inauguration of this temple perhaps could be the celebration for an entire country? The reason why I ask you this, Swamiji, is because there is an attempt perhaps these days to polarize on matters like this. There is a lot of fear mongering that is taking place. Perhaps it is also time to heal some of those wounds that were inflicted in the past. What would you tell those who believe that they are being marginalized?
See, marginalization happens when you politicize something. So otherwise, when you look at this from a spiritual point of view, what is there? I mean, it's Lord Rama. Lord Rama is the personification of a perfect human being, and Rama Rajya was the sankalpa, was the dream of Mahatma Gandhi. And what is Rama Rajya? And that's what that will help us progress, both spiritually and materially. So if marginalization happens, see, polarization is the nature of Indian societies in today's world, and this polarization, this marginalization is the work of politicians. And it may not even be the work of people, because most people are unaware of what is happening, I mean, to themselves, in society, in their workplace. They are not fully aware. But this thought of polarization, caste, creed, sect, division between religious faiths, that's being created by the responsible people, the so-called responsible people who are supposed to promote peace, who are supposed to work for the benefit of society, for the uplift of the poor and downtrodden.
The reason why I wanted to ask you this, perhaps I was coming to this in a short while from now, because you already spoke about Ram Rajya. And there is a lot of interpretation of what exactly is Ram Rajya. Perhaps this is a great opportunity, Swamiji, to get your understanding, your reading of Ram Rajya, which for those who are listening, watching this interview, a better perspective of Ram Rajya coming in from you, and not from perhaps what the politicians have been trying to tell the people of this country.
Rama Vigrahavan Dharma means Lord Rama embodies righteousness. We all know that science has transformed the way we perceive the world. Now that we are aware of the connectedness of the universe, the destruction of nature poses a risk to the entire humanity. Hence, modern thinkers explore ways to protect nature, society, and family, and promote growth. And this indeed is dharma, this perspective. And dharma is a way of life based on timeless principles for interpersonal behavior, aiming for integrated human development and societal harmony. Doing right things helps you grow through your own initiative. Dharma acts as an inner brake system for self-control and harmonious living. And Rama Rajya refers to an ideal society where the larger interests of community are prioritized. Descriptions of Ayodhya in the Ramayana support this idea, even by modern standards. I mean, even by modern standards. Mahatma Gandhi, as I said earlier, believed in establishing Ramarajya in Bharat. However, in today's political climate, we often avoid using the term Ramarajya to be politically correct, which makes it harder to understand and work towards this ideal society known as Ramarajya. Sri Rama united society by not dividing them into different communities. Although some communities had harmed him, he ensured all were united in a higher vision of dharma. He accepted and befriended other communities, even offering a chance for wrongdoers to set things right. So Sri Rama's actions demonstrate the importance of striving for an ideal society that values holistic living by putting aside selfish interests for a greater purpose. Dharma is an essential concept that individuals must internalize to achieve harmony within themselves and their external environment. Greed is a major problem in society and causes disruptions in every aspect of life, including corporate, political, family, and workplace environments. It is crucial to keep greed at bay by following the principles of dharma. The universe has a structure. Every single place in this world has a structure. And that structure is known as dharma, and it must be respected. Ram's life and actions serve as an exemplary model of a selfless life that is free of greed. The period in which Ramayana is set, known as Rama Rajya, created a state of great equilibrium in Ayodhya and neighboring countries, which should inspire us all to strive towards a more harmonious and selfless life.
Swamiji, this brings me to another aspect that I wanted to cover, which with regards to this often spoken about debate, the divide between North and South India. Perhaps the teachings of Lord Rama could be the best bridge of the gap that has been once again created or once again spoken about. What better way to understand than the teachings of Lord Rama and bringing the North-South divide?
See, as ordinary human beings, we are all slaves to our minds, emotions, and negativities. Everyone's thoughts and words filter through their own partial views and opinions. No one sees the whole picture. It's a fact that all sorts of divides exist in society, not just North and South. It is said that some people are real, some people are good, some people are fake, and some people are really good at being fake. The question about Lord Rama having a larger impact in North India, not in the South, is not true. I would call that as a political statement for political benefits to drive their points to achieve a certain political agenda. Ramayana is popular in the South, and Ram is also worshipped by religious and spiritual people in the South.
Swamiji, there has also been a civilizational reclaiming, we believe, a restoration and affirmative of Hindu pride in many ways, which are vocal and outwards. India has successfully been rising to a higher order in the global sphere. And a huge part of it has been possible through the people's acceptance and their return to their traditional and cultural roots. Do you believe we are finally using our biggest power, our soft power?
We are and must, because our soft skills are genuine and the closest to us. 3,000 years ago, Bharat shone like a priceless jewel in the world's crown. Its value was immeasurable. And why did everyone from Europe to Greece to Egypt want to conduct trade here? Clearly, the system stimulated the economy. If the Queen of Spain was willing to spend a fortune to sponsor Columbus' search for a new trade route to India, then the market here had to be pretty good. But how did we lose this position? Back then, we gave priority to Atmavidya, or spiritual knowledge. This foundation helped us progress in other spheres as well. Spiritual knowledge gave us the strength, intelligence, and self-confidence to progress spiritually and materially. However, our material life started declining when we began to ignore our spiritual culture. So Bharat always flourished when we lived a life based on dharma, spiritual principles, or paravidya. As long as we remained firmly rooted in paravidya or spiritual knowledge, we also made great strides in aparavidya, material wealth and knowledge. From the moment we started living without paying heed to our spiritual culture, our material life started declining. What I mean is that just preaching and talking about soft skills will not help. We need more and more practitioners, people who walk the talk. People, not just within our great nation, but all over the world, are fed up with hypocrites. Enough is enough. We need role models. We need inspires. And that's one of the greatest needs of the hour.
Well, in fact, Swamiji, I would like to end this interview by asking you, what in your opinion is the most relevant teaching of Lord Rama in today's time, and perhaps something that is going to be a message to not just Hindus, but people from all communities?
Go beyond all divisions. Don't politicize anything and everything. See the good in everything. Like a honeybee, Asama puts it as a honeybee sees nectar in every single flower. See the good in people. Go beyond divisions. And please don't politicize everything and anything. And this is what Sri Rama teaches us. He embraced Guha. He embraced Hanuman. He respected Jadayu. He worshipped he liberated Ahalya. He adored Sabri. And he gave back the kingdom to Vibhishana. He conquered Lanka. He could have taken the country, but he did not. So that's Ram. That's Dharma. That's righteousness. And that's what we need to practice. And that is Ram's message to the entire world.
Swamiji, that was a lovely message, and hoping that this will find resonance among the people of this country. Thank you very much
Thank you so much
for joining us on
Namaskar.
this broadcast.
Thank you.